been and gone. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks. Certainly two. 2 weeks have come and gone. It's off to week 3, and we're underway on EA Sports. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. And they will be led out by their 6'6" quarterback.
And he's off to a fantastic start to the season. Already 8 touchdown passes in just his first 2 weeks of the year. Now, I don't think that's a pace he's going to be able to sustain, but at the very least, he's got this offense humming here to start things out.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And he gets all the way down to the 30-yard line. A huge play there right off the bat. 42 yards.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, if only they were all this easy, because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. Wide open receiver complete. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line.
Boy, no problems getting down the field here on this opening drive. They've looked really sharp in the early going, and they've come up with some big plays already. Here's another that's going to set up 1st and goal.
And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And that one's going to be off target and incomplete.
Now we got 3rd and goal coming up, and couldn't you imagine being in that huddle, partner? You know they're looking at each other saying, we can't come away with just 3 points after this drive.
Yeah, they've covered a lot of ground. They want more than that 3. And he is going to go down back at the 11-yard line. Disastrous outcome there on 3rd and goal. They lose 9 yards on the sack.
Well, it's about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. And this one is right through. And it's 3-0. The Bears hit the scoreboard first. I think we can safely say they came out to be aggressive on the opening series, Charles. They didn't run the ball once. All that passing, it does get them the 3-0 lead.
I think what we saw there, partner, was the true definition of football balance, which means doing what you want to when you want to on offense. And in this case, it was throwing the football. They may mix in running the football a little bit more as this game goes on. But this opening drive, while it stalled out, it still gave them 3 points.
So here come the Ravens with their first look on offense. And they will be led out by their signal caller in his 2nd year in the NFL now.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stay on an even keel. Doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. This will be taken in by Michael Pittman. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and they're going to face a third down. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Out of the gun now on third down. And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there, and now fourth down.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. 47-yard punt, a return of 4. And the Bears take over. Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their second drive of the game. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And a short pickup to about the 27. It'll be second down. The numbers for him from a week ago. And Charles, how do you think he ran the football?
I thought he definitely had his moments. I did think that they could have utilized him a little bit better, and I'm definitely going to keep an eye on him to see how they're going to use him this week.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Here's 3rd and 6. Back to throw here. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And this won't do it. He needed 6. He only got halfway there.
That pattern and scheme was well defensed on 3rd down. He tried to just sprint from one side of the field to the other, and they got it to him quickly. But no chance at yards after the catch there, and they stop him short.
And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. Baltimore set to take over here for their second possession of the game. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. They'll look to throw. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play. And it'll be a 3rd and about 13. Back to throw. And that is incomplete.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things, get back to what works.
And taken right on the 30. It'll go as a 50-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. So here are the Bears to take over on offense. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. And they'll send the tight end in motion. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. Line of scrimmage, the 43 on 2nd and 4.
At the 43-yard line.
In motion left goes a tight end. 2nd and 4. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 3 catches now this afternoon, the same number he had all of last week. Also, it's a 1st down. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. From the 41, here's 2nd and a yard.
At the Ravens' 41-yard line.
from the gun. He'll hand this off. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. Now we're going to get a stoppage. Appears to be an injured Bear on the field. Well, hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. A play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And the Bears are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5. Now back to throw. And he's got it. Touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And they are able to add on to their advantage. Well, Charles, he's still a young signal caller in this league, 2nd year in the NFL. But I don't know if last year as a rookie, if he would have worked through his progressions like he did on that touchdown pass.
I think you're right about that. We're seeing him grow up right in front of our eyes because when he went to his primary read, he recognized that they were all over that, so he continued to survey the field, picked up another target, delivered a pass exactly where it needed to be. A very mature play for the 2nd-year quarterback.
So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Ravens ready to take over. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Wide open receiver, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there, 21 yards. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Looking to throw. A short throw caught by Andrews. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that will bring up 2nd down. He'll drop to throw. A slant route caught by Bateman. First connection there of the afternoon for those two, and it's good for a 1st down. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down. From the 38 now, here's 2nd down and 7. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's 3rd down. Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. 30 yards there, and of course the 1st down as well.
Seems like all the fireworks in this first quarter have been on the other sideline, but here they're saying, hey, we've got some explosive guys on our side too. And that's a big play in a game that's looking like it might be full of big plays. On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
They've gobbled up over 30 yards of turf so far, but a sack knocks them backwards. And that interrupts the momentum they were building. Good opportunity for the defense to escape this drive before they get to the end zone.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down. So a great play there for this highly regarded linebacker making his first career sack.
And his versatility on display right there. Look, we've known him primarily as a tackler and a cover man, but he can go get the quarterback when the situation calls for it, as he just did right there.
Tucker's kick is good, and they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So, Charles, they are on the board after that kick. So 3 drives, 3 points. Obviously not the start that you were hoping for, but they're able to erase that 0 off the scoreboard.
Yeah, I guess what you're saying is a point a drive is not what offenses are striving for by any stretch. They're happy they've got 3 now. They hope that that unlocks their offense for bigger points down the road.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And, partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
And because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down. 10-3 our score after 1 here on EA Sports. Back in Chicago, ready for the 2nd quarter. It's the Bears in possession. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10, as they've got it as we resume action. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Looking middle, and that's complete. It'll go as a gain of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6 at the 40-yard line.
They'll set up a throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens' 41-yard line. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
They'll look to throw again. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be 2nd down. And here's a handoff out of the gun. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. A great effort there. His 2nd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Bears go up by 2 touchdowns. Well, they've done a pretty good job keeping him in check to that point, but he finally breaks off a nice run here and gets into the end zone.
And it just takes one, doesn't it, partner? That can undo a lot of good work that a defense has done to that point. You break off one right there, and everything suddenly looks bad for you.
A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and the lead is now 17-3. So after the made field goal by Moody, he's back out to kick this one away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. And this not an easy situation. You're down early in the elements. You're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
First target, first catch, and a first down. And the tight end goes in motion left. Back to throw now on first down. A short throw caught by Andrews. They'll wind up getting just a yard, and it'll be second down. Again, he'll drop the throw. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Back to throw again. Looking for Bateman. He's got him complete. And he'll only get this to the 47. He needed a few more yards to pick up the first. So the completion good for 6 yards. And that'll bring up fourth down. Here's Ty Zentner now. He gets this away. It's a good one. Drawing toward the sidelines. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. The Chicago offense set to get started. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he'll get a few yards here to the 34. The Bears at 2-0 here to begin the season. And they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. They're going to look to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
They'll bring a receiver in motion right. They'll get it forward to him on the touch pass. Now they nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37. A 14-yard gain there as they look to improve this 14-point lead. So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. Over the middle, it's complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. They'll look to throw here. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he's taken down at the 7 after a gain of 7. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
His pass caught with the 4. And inside the 5 here before he's out of bounds right at the 3. They'll drop to throw. toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. And that one really pushes him back. A loss of 9. And now it's 3rd and goal after the sack.
When you're this close to the goal line, you've got to expect pressure from the defense, so the ball's got to come out fast. Got to get out of his hands quicker.
Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal. They'll set up to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down.
And that's a play that's not uncommon on 3rd and long because the offense is just hoping that somehow they can get a guy in space and follow some blockers downfield. Does a pretty nice job there getting a few yards, but he ends up getting stopped before he can get the 1st down.
So 3 points there, and they continue to build this first half lead.
Yeah, every little bit helps, and the more that you can put together drives and start controlling the tempo, controlling possession, finishing with points, the better off you're going to be.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Not what they had in mind there. That's going to go as a loss of 4. Second and 14. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down. Going to need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing. And the throw there going to be incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's 4th down.
It's going to be another frustrating end to a drive here. This offense, they've not been able to get anything going in this first half. And now it's going to be time to gather on the sidelines and try and figure out what's going wrong. Who has an idea? Who has a plan? Time to implement it.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They have been red hot, sometimes white hot here in this first half. They're just looking to add to that total right now.
And this has to serve as a reminder to myself because so many times I get wrapped up in the play calling, how they've sequenced things, how it's run. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's still execution. Those guys out on the field, and right now they are locked in and really looking good.
They'll try to continue to be locked in here as we get ready to approach halftime. Trenton Simpson, well, he just flew in there to drop him. A tough spot here, 3rd and 15. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And they'll get him down at about the 37, well short of the 1st. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. The Ravens offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
That is catch number 300 now for his NFL career. Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. Back to throw here. He'll find Bateman once more. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. It looks like a loss of right around 11 there on first down to set him back on second.
These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles. And that front seven defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
They'll look to throw. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up third down. This time they stay on the ground. And they'll indeed stop him on third down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. Now on fourth down, on is the punt team sending this one away. This is brought in at the 21. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Bears offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And he's done everything you could have asked for coming in. He's spread it around. He hasn't taken many chances. And he's potentially on his way to a big game throwing the football. They'll come out throwing here on first down. Throwing middle, and it's complete. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime. On first down, he'll drop to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. Now the Bears will use their third and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. They'll look to throw now on first down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you two in a bit. For now, plenty of early game action around the NFL to get you caught up on, so let's get to it. We'll start up at TIAA Bank Stadium in Jacksonville. And this one all tied as they've gone to the intermission. From there, let's get to Philadelphia as we check on the Eagles at home at Lincoln Financial Field. And they have the lead over the visiting Washington Commanders. A.J. Brown, a touchdown reception. This was an extremely one-sided first half. One team showed up, ready to go. The other's been in a daze thus far, but there's still plenty of time left for this one to tighten up significantly.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Ravens offense and their running back getting set to go once more. And he's had his fair share of troubles in this one, unfortunately. This defensive front has wreaked havoc throughout the contest, and he hasn't been able to create enough space to make something positive happen to this point. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely...
And now off to the races, down the right side. And all the way down to the 10-yard line. It's a big play there for Baltimore. 63 yards.
They made that way too easy for them. No one is supposed to be that open against an NFL defense. Once he caught the ball, there wasn't anybody close enough to stop him, and he was able to continue downfield after making the catch.
So not quite a first and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10.
And he is going to lose yardage here. What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward and now a small step back as he loses a yard or two.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
2nd and 11.
Out to the right and complete to Pittman.
A good display of power, but it will only get him just inside the 5 to the 4. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Brings up 4th down. Solid coverage by the Bears D.
And those two just have been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect him to have more completions to him in this game.
Tucker's kick is good, and that will close the gap down to 14. So a good drive there to begin quarter number 3, but they're only able to shave 3 points off the lead.
Well, something's better than nothing, all right? They didn't play particularly well in the first half, but they definitely need him to step on the accelerator now and play a whole lot better.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Bears offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And he's been a nightmare to scheme against throughout this one. This defense has been totally taken apart, and that is borne out in his numbers. He's been terrific all game long.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
A gain of 5 brings us 2nd and 5.
In motion goes the tight end. 2nd and 5. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 8th catch for him now. He's been a big factor. And it's a 1st down. They'll send the tight end in motion left. He'll drop to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll take this from 147-yard line to the other. A gain of 6.
This 2nd and 4.
At the Ravens' 47-yard line.
On play action, they'll throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. It'll be a gain of just a yard. And now it's 3rd and 3.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the 1st.
In motion, the tight end. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
That's not the first time they've gone his way on this drive, and they were obviously keyed into him because they were there to help break that pass up.
Here comes the Bears punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. The Ravens offense now, they get set to head back on the field.
And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points.
2nd and 9 now from the 21. They'll send a receiver in motion to the right. 2nd and 9 now. A short throw caught by Andrews.
And he will cover up as he's touched down after a short gain.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. They'll bring the tight end in motion right. Out of the gun now on 3rd down.
And he'll go right back to Andrews. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Out to the flat, that's complete to his running back. They'll get nothing out of that one, and it's going to lead to a 3rd down.
That's a nice job defensively to make sure everyone was accounted for, because ordinarily you pick up the guys downfield, and sometimes you forget about the running back. In this case, they did not, and dropped him for no gain.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 75 yards receiving for him now. It's a 1st down.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the 1st down.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 47. Now a handoff running through the middle. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Looking to throw. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. He'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack. And it's 3rd down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
A throw for Pittman is intercepted. And the Bears are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield.
CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape, he's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
The Bears offense ready to get going again. They start near midfield following the interception as they begin 1st and 10.
They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36.
67 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Back to throw. Pressure comes and down he goes. He'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's 2nd down.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Now back to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Call that a gain of 5 as the clock ticks inside of 2 minutes to go now in the 3rd.
3rd down and 13.
Brings up 3rd and 13.
They'll set up a throw. In trouble, and he's taken down. That is the big fella, Nnamdi Madubuike, forcing his way in. He comes up with a sack. Here comes the Bears punter now. He's been terrific so far. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. And Baltimore's offense set for this next possession. And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry. Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. The slot man in motion right. He'll look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he gets up near the 25 to about the 24 before going out of bounds. Hands it off out of the gun. And he's going to have a Ravens first down as he's got this up to about the 34-yard line. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter. Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game. Right back to him on first down. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Back-to-back 2-yard losses, and that sets up a tough 3rd and 14. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Looks like another empty possession offensively. And you're at that point in the game where you can't afford too many more of these. So this is going to require some heavy thinking on the sideline to figure out what they can do to crack this defense. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Pulled in at the 24. 45 yards, that's what the punt goes for. 5 on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? After they score here, especially a touchdown, it's almost out of reach. It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here. Yeah, still third quarter, but you just get that feel. Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they? Back now at Soldier Field. It's Bears football here. They also have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And a pretty athletic run right there as he's going to get this down inside the 40. 80 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here. Throw right side taken in by Adunze. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football. And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, this is a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue. Exercise those fingers. Quick throw there is incomplete. Something we haven't really seen much of from him, an incomplete pass. Yeah, last week he finished at 70%. This week he's up over 80%. I don't know how you slow him down. Pass rush is usually the best way because a quarterback on his back usually can't complete a pass. This offense so far on third down, just one conversion and 8 tries. Not good. Here it's 3rd and 3. Back to throw again. Looking for his running back, and he's got it.
And the Bears are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another 1st down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made.
Touchdown, Bears! From 6 yards away.
And the Bears are closing in on a 3rd straight victory to start the campaign.
A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to his 2nd and sometimes 3rd progression. That was a nice play.
Moody good with the extra point.
And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21.
So following the touchdown, here's Moody back out to send it away. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bears sack. The sack recorded. It's a loss of 5, and now it's 2nd down. He'll look to throw.
He'll find a man over the middle. It's Pittman.
Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9. Back to throw here. A short throw caught by Andrews. So give him 2 yards there on the completion. And it'll be 4th down. Did they maybe play that too safely on 3rd down? I know you don't want to just throw a ball blindly downfield, but that didn't help them a whole lot.
I think they probably said if it's open, take the shot. If not, get something safe because we do have 4th down to try and pick it up.
And it's knocked away and incomplete. John Harbaugh not afraid to go for it. This time doesn't work out. And the Bears are going to get the football back, and they're going to get it in great field position. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24.
90 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. They'll motion the tight end across the formation. 2nd down and inches. Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. A great play there with now 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns.
And the Bears up the lead to 4 scores now here in this 4th quarter. So still throwing here in the 4th quarter with a pretty sizable lead, and now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to because, as you noted, this is their chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, they try to get every single spot in the depth chart points before this game is over.
And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30.
And the Ravens taking the field.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, The second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
They'll bring the tight end in motion right here. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. Here is 3rd and 5. They'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. A short throw caught by Andrews. And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41.
An 8-yard pickup. And the Ravens first down.
They'll look to throw again. He finds Bateman over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. That one good for 13 and a Raven 1st down. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. A short throw caught by Andrews.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Slot man moves right. Again, he'll drop to throw. The throw out wide going to be incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he'll get this only to about the 38 as they stop him a few yards shy of the line to get here on 4th down. They're going for it. They'll try and run for it. And nowhere to go. He's going to be stopped behind the line. He needed a couple, but the football back. So that's the 2nd time this game they've given it up on 4th down. They're now 1 for 3 on 4th down conversion tries.
But they must feel good about what they're doing, right? They continue to go for it on 4th down. Give the defense a lot of credit, though. They've stopped them 2 out of 3 times. Usually you have 4th down plays that you have dialed up and ready to.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Been a very strong performance for them, really, on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs, the most recent example, and now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
Yeah, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, give him a little dap. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And they get him behind the line, so that short gain on 1st down quickly negated. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up. They'll set up to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. And now here come the Ravens. Well, CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is in the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on when you get back to practice in the next couple of days.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They'll drop to throw. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up 2nd.
Well, partner, you and I will be headed to the airport, but after this game, when it's interview time, someone's going to ask this quarterback what hurt worse, the interceptions or the sacks. His whole day, it's been rough. Barring a miraculous comeback, this offense isn't going to win this game, but he's probably going to say what hurt most is the loss.
They're going to look to throw. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up 3rd.
We all know he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, but definitely not today. His team trailing by multiple touchdowns and a late sack. Just a parting gift from the defense for him to take back to the locker room with him.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that is incomplete, but a penalty flag coming in. This could be a 1st down. So 1st and 10 after a big mistake on 4th down with a penalty. On play action, they'll throw. He's got his man. It's Andrews. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. 2nd and 2. And now a fumble. The ball's out. But it looks like one of the DBs has it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he'll be converged on quickly. Maybe gets a yard out of that.
1-yard gain brings up 2nd and 9.
So this one in the win column for the Chicago Bears. And we talk so much about the turnover battle, determining who wins, who loses. This game, no exception. Error-free football, no turnovers at all, and they win it.
So this is one you don't have to convince your team that what you're saying is accurate. And you know what I'm talking about. Head coach always stands up in front of the team and says, guys, if we do this, this, and this, we'll win. And usually they say if we win the turnover battle, we'll win. Well, here's the proof right there. Win the turnover battle, go on to victory. Now the guys believe. You move on to the next lesson where you have to convince them. This one is now planted.
So for the Bears, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Minnesota Vikings. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, they'll fall to 1-2. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in Cincinnati against the Bengals.